This is our beehives. This is actually an Australian design. It's called the flow frame. Grace has actually painted this beautifully. So it's Australian design. So traditionally you would have to take the whole thing out and then take the frame out, break the frame, and then spin it. There's a lot of mess. But with this design, you can actually see the bees here. So if you see that the hive itself is partly foam, and what happens is up the gap in between, and then start to deposit nectar in there. And then when you want to harvest it, you then over here. This is the honey. So you can see that when they're full, it's capped with wax. So they'll get the moisture down to I think below 20%, around 18% or something, and then it is self-preserving once it's at that level. They open that up, and then you can put the key in here. This is a key, and when you put the key and you turn it, it then cracks the hives open. So it's a fantastic design. The honey will just flow out. But what I want to talk about is actually some of the lessons that we can actually learn from bees. Bees are actually very hardworking insect. And out of all the insects in the world, it's probably one of my favorite. The minute the sun rises, they'll start fly out, and they will work all day. In fact, they will actually, if they find some flowers, nectars, what we call Nectar Flow, they will then come in here and do a dance to tell all the group, where to go, like which direction, how many kilometers. They can fly up to 5K, and they work together as a team, and they all are very loyal to the queen. There's only one queen. There's a queen excluded here to stop the queen from coming up, and the queen lays all the babies in here. It's interesting because the queen, all the bees are actually born exactly the same. It's what they feed them that makes a difference. So a beehive produces 5 things. Honey is one. What else? Beeswax, propolis. Propolis is a very good antibacterial agent. Pollen, and also raw jelly. Now what happens is when bees the larvae are born, they're all the same, but the workers bee actually feed raw jelly to the queen, and that turns it into a queen rather than a worker's bee. So some of the qualities we can learn from bees are, be diligent, be hardworking. Be hardworking, be diligent. So you can see that, and be loyal to the queen. So see this soldier bee is trying to kick the another bee out. See, every bee has a different scent. See, this bee is trying to get rid of this other bee that is not from that same hives. And if you can see that some of the are guarding the entrance, some of them are working. See, this is a guard. See, this is watching over anyone that comes close to it. And then you can see that some of them are carrying pollen as they come in. There's if you kind of have a look at it next to it, there's on their legs there's 2 pollens. So they actually feed pollens and nectar to the growing larvae. So you can sit here and watch them. If you don't bother them, they don't bite you. They don't actually come and bite you. Or maybe if you try to annoy them, they'll bite you. Yeah. So they work together as one. Cooperation. It's amazing. They don't, and they also are very organized. Some are cleaning the hives. Some are actually, feeding the queen. Some are feeding the drone, some are feeding the drone, um, and some yeah, very organized. They all have their own different role to play. Yeah, it's amazing. So yeah, if you enjoy the video, you can hit subscribe. Hopefully, you can learn something from these hardworking bees. The other thing is bees actually, they store honey, because what happens is in winter time there's not as much flowers around, so they can survive through the winter, even though there's not a honey flow, so they can survive. It's good quality to have. When we have plenty, we should store for the rainy day. This other hive is not as strong, so I'll close up the entrance a bit. Also, this hive is actually quite good because it has a little window that you can open. So if it gets hot, you can actually open it and it allows some ventilation. And the bees can actually get in from the top as well. Good. Hope you learned something from all these hardworking bees.